Since the Attorney General became involved in the investigation, have there been any important findings or breakthroughs? Let's look into the mysteries surrounding Attorney General assists in MAJOR UFO Investigation, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 4. The current Attorney General of Utah, Reyes, has spent the majority of his time in office fighting to end human trafficking and, more recently, opposing the use of environmental, social, and governance (ESG) investment strategies. As a guest on the television show The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Reyes assisted in the investigation of alleged supernatural occurrences in northern Utah. This contributed to his credibility as an authority on the subject. David Mason, a co-worker of Caleb's and a friend of his, was invited to the ranch. David is a UAP researcher, and Eric and Caleb thought he would be the ideal person to assist them with a new nighttime experiment that they had been wanting to do. Actually, David Mason has come up with a new piece of technology that he refers to as a triple-spectrum lightwave transmitter. It intends to emit lasers with infrared and ultraviolet wavelengths that are invisible to the human eye. In addition to that, it also emits a laser that is perfectly visible to the naked eye. The 512-acre Skinwalker Ranch property, which is close to Fort Duchesne, is well known for reports of unexplained phenomena. Ranch owner and real estate tycoon Brandon Fugel and a team of researchers apply cutting-edge technology to investigate the property to uncover the potentially otherworldly perpetrators behind it all. On the most recent episode of Season 4, Reyes made an appearance as a guest and offered to look into an unidentified aircraft that the cast thought might be a Black Hawk military helicopter, and that seemed to be watching the team's most recent experiment at the ranch. When a spokeswoman for Reyes was asked how the Attorney General became connected with the series, the response given was that he was invited to appear on the show, since the ranch is a place of national significance. Brandon Fugel informed us that he and his brother Cameron would be bringing Utah Attorney General Reyes to the ranch. As a consequence of this, everybody was enthusiastic to listen to his viewpoint and talk with their co-workers about what the following phase in the inquiry needed to be. We're getting such compelling data, and we want to explore more. The helicopter is safe, and we've pre-flown it. Today we feel comfortable about it, so let's do it. Our objective was to have Cameron fly Caleb and Eric above the triangle, stopping at various altitudes between 1,000 and 5,000 feet high in order to drop little weighted balls down through the anomalous zone to determine if their trajectory or velocity is changed in any way by anything that is out of the ordinary. First things first, before we get started, we need to make sure that the GPS tracker we have is activated. One of the most important goals that we have set for ourselves is to obtain the data collected for GPS position information for the helicopter during both stages of this experiment. Throughout the course of both iterations of the experiment, this data was recorded. Okay, so if our theory that there is a space-time anomaly at the triangle turns out to be correct, then it is quite probable that the GPS data will be able to tell us when it entered the region and when it exited the area while we are carrying out the experiment. Now, after completing the first set of ball drops over the triangle at a height of approximately 1,000 feet, Cameron ascended to an altitude slightly above 5,000 feet so that Caleb could drop 5 additional balls to observe what would occur to them as they plummeted through the anomalous zone. Above sea level, at an altitude of 5,000 feet above the ranch, the winds are really interesting. We can feel them pulling us back to the east there. That is completely insane. Following Eric's discovery of the 1.6 gigahertz signal, we had no idea what to anticipate as Cameron entered the mile-high zone. However, as soon as he reached that altitude, the helicopter was abruptly tossed about by significant gusts of wind. Therefore, as we get closer to the mark of 10,000 feet above sea level, we will be constructing the climb at a slower pace. We are going to make our way back over that triangle right now. Attorney General assists in MAJOR UFO Investigation, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 4. Every time we reach within striking distance, we are abruptly repelled. The wind speeds range anywhere from 8 knots to 35 miles per hour. Consequently, my instruments begin to pick up, and then the corporations spin. They don't have a GPS position, for crying out loud. We couldn't find the GPS. The current altitude has passed 9,400 feet above mean sea level, and is continuing to fall. There should be approximately 10 of it, and we are going to abandon our mission and come back for the sake of our own safety. It is still heading off in the direction of the west. Therefore, it is imperative that Cameron return to the ground in a secure manner. However, I'd say that was a successful attempt because it came soon after we climbed back on top of the triangle. In spite of the fact that flying in general presents its fair share of inherent risks, I would argue that our effort to investigate this topic has been a resoundingly successful one. We will soon have access to a wide variety of fresh data, but in the meanwhile, we are interested in what information was recorded. That was very strange. Therefore, we should be excited about the things that come out of it. You probably remember that I attached a GPS locator and a data logging device to the helicopter when you were flying the camera. Well, I'll show you some data that indicates the path that the helicopter took while you were flying the camera, and it will show you where it went. Your focus is drawn to the fact that there are obviously some issues with this, since they are shouting their presence at you. Despite the fact that this is pretty evident in the statistics, I am conscious of the fact that we did not pilot the helicopter in such a way. I've actually taken the time to calculate the height difference between this point and the finish line of this maneuver, and it comes out to be 666. Yeah, did you do anything? To complete that maneuver, we would have needed to be in a hover while climbing vertically in a hovering ascent, which is something that we would not have done. We never performed anything even remotely similar to that since we knew it wouldn't be safe or up to our standards. This is a video recording that was made in the exact location of the triangle from ground level. Looking up at the airplane, and well, it's probably better if you view the photo, as you may have seen. The caption there said something about an embossed look. Click on the subscribe button if you are finding this video interesting. When you alter the contrast in such a way, strange characteristics start to become apparent in the video. This is what's happening here. We are adding a filter to the footage. The circles in the background are the artifact that is right there, and it seems to be following you as though there is something following it. What the heck is going on in the state? That is most likely the most important thing I've seen flying alongside the helicopter. Wow. 2 days ago, when we conducted our experiment over the triangle, it was a huge help that we had high-speed cameras documenting it. We were able to take a picture of the UAP right next to the helicopter on the day with the finest visibility. This is a photograph taken in broad daylight of a physical UFO that has a reflection off of one side glinting off of it. The photograph appears to have been taken all on as if the object is metallic or something. Yes, you're seeing correctly. That is a solid thing that possesses the same reflecting property as the helicopter that is hovering directly over it. Actually, if you think about the perspective from which you are looking at it, if you look at it, you can see a hemisphere here and maybe another hemisphere that might be very similar to the orbit. These two hemispheres may be two worries, or the separation, because it appears as like there might be a separation right there. This is undeniable proof that someone is watching us, and there is no other plausible explanation for what may be going on. What tools or resources does the Attorney General make available to the researchers and investigators working on the Skinwalker Ranch UFO case? What are your thoughts on the possibility of conducting additional three-dimensional research with the aircraft? Want to know more about rocket launch causes flashing lights phenomena, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 4? Watch this video popping on the screen right now to learn more.